So you've been thinking about moving to Northwest Arkansas or maybe Southwest Missouri. Well, in today's video, we're going to be going over and comparing Northwest Arkansas to Southwest Missouri and showing you everything you would ever need to know about both areas. That way you can make the best decision on which place is right for you. We're going to be going over and comparing the two places. That way you get an idea of what the pros and cons are for each of them, and we're getting after it right now. Hey, welcome or welcome back. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything you would ever need to know about living in the Ozarks, specifically Northwest Arkansas and Southwest Missouri, go ahead and subscribe down below. Be sure to hit that bell and turn on the notifications. That way you never miss another one of our future videos. My name's Chris. Me and my team get calls, texts, emails every day from people just like you looking to move to the area. So whether you're looking to move tomorrow, next month, or next year, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and me and my team would love to help you make the move here as easy as possible. All right, so with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video where we are going to compare Northwest Arkansas to Southwest Missouri. So the first thing that I want to do is just kind of tell you about the two different areas. So when it comes to Northwest Arkansas, that's going to be a place that is thriving whenever it comes to basically everything from economy to population growth to job opportunities to educational things. In Northwest Arkansas, you're going to find places such as Bentonville, which is going to be where Walmart is headquartered. You're going to find places like Springdale and Rogers and all those places that are going to have like some other big companies like Tyson's Foods. You're going to find Fayetteville, Arkansas down there, and that's going to be where the University of Arkansas is. So a lot of really good stuff going on in Northwest Arkansas. Most people, it's kind of the gem of the area. It's kind of this hidden gem of this area, and a lot of people really fall in love with Northwest Arkansas once they get there. And now that is in no way saying that Southwest Missouri doesn't have its own pros too. You know, places such as Springfield and Joplin are kind of the main areas that we are talking about here. So in Springfield, it's going to be kind of the economic hub for this entire area. It is the biggest city by far in this direct area here. So if you're looking for anything for like job growth, you're going to find it in Springfield. If you're someone that is in the medical field, in any kind of health field, they have a lot of opportunity there in Springfield. Any kind of logistical trucking is going to be huge there in Springfield. As far as Joplin, you're still going to get a lot of the same benefits, but in a smaller town. In Joplin, you're actually kind of in the middle of Springfield and Northwest Arkansas. So there's a lot of stuff going on in both of these places. And we're just going to go over and highlight some of the main factors when it comes to these different areas. All right, so one thing that we want to hit on here really quick is going to be the cost of living. So all of these areas compared to the national average are lower. Now that's not to say that they're all equal though. Northwest Arkansas by far is going to be more expensive than anywhere in Southwest Missouri. It is still slightly under the national average, but not near as much as in the other places in Southwest Missouri. For instance, Springfield is about 14% lower than the national average in total cost of living and about 30% lower when it comes to housing prices. Now, if we're talking about Joplin, Missouri, it is even less than that when it comes to cost of living and housing prices. And now we're not going to do a deep dive into all of the actual numbers, but I will say that we have done a video on the cost of living in Joplin, Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, and in Northwest Arkansas. So we're going to put these up here, and we're also going to link them down in the description. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you go check those videos out if the cost of living is something that is important to you, like it is to most people. So go ahead and check those videos out there, and they will give you a detailed breakdown of the cost of living for each of these different areas. All right, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is just, what's there to do in these different areas. So let's start off with Springfield, Missouri. You've got a lot of stuff going on there. Like we said, it's the biggest city in this entire area. So they're going to have a lot of stuff going on there. When it comes to like nightlife, you're going to find a lot of bars and restaurants. They got some pubs there. You can do like pub crawls there. A lot of downtown areas there for like going for like boutique shops and shopping. You're also going to have, now all these places are going to have a ton of stuff to do when it comes to outdoor activities. So this is the Ozarks. So if you're looking to go hunting, fishing, if you want to go hiking, if you want to do anything that comes to outdoors, you're going to find it in all of these areas. So keep that in mind. If you move to Southwest Missouri versus Northwest Arkansas, yes, it'll be a little bit different, but you're still going to have great opportunities to do anything when it comes to outdoor stuff. I will say that the biggest thing around Springfield is going to be Branson, Missouri. That is something that you don't have in Northwest Arkansas. Branson is kind of in the middle too, so either area that you decide on, you're still going to be able to take advantage of Branson, Missouri. Now, if you're not aware of what Branson is, they have a big strip there where you can walk around or drive through there. You can go down there and ride go-karts, bumper cars. They have little water parks on that strip, restaurants, everything, tons of little hotels to go and do, like a weekend trip or a week trip even. There's plenty of stuff to do there. And Branson, Missouri is also where Silver Dollar City theme park is. So that is a theme park that is themed in the Ozarks, but in the earlier days, so back in the day. So it's a really awesome theme park. It's not a small one. They have big roller coasters, they have big rides, all kinds of festivals there. I would put it up with almost any theme park in the entire nation. It is really, really cool and fits the area very, very well. You're also going to find places such as Whitewaters, which is the big water park there. They have the Branson Landing, which is going to be like a river walk area, a big fountain there that does like these night shows, restaurants, shops there. Tons of cool stuff going on in Branson. Now in Springfield, you have Hammond Stadium, which is going to be where the St. Louis Cardinals minor league baseball team is. So that's going to be the Springfield Cardinals. So that's an awesome place. It's like a major league stadium just shrunken down. One of the nicest minor league stadiums I've ever been in. And obviously with it being in the minor leagues, it's going to be cheaper. You can get like season passes there for a very affordable rate or just single tickets. Really, really fun to take the young kids and do all of that stuff. Springfield also has Bass Pro there, so that is where Bass Pro started, and they have the Johnny Morris Aquarium and wildlife thing there. So if you enjoy doing that kind of stuff, all of the numerous things that Springfield has to offer when it comes to country clubs, they have Lake Springfield, you have Table Rock Lake over there, a lot of good stuff if you're looking to, whether it be going and doing more of like the outdoor stuff like fishing and hunting, or if you want to be more of the urban lifestyle and do the like downtown, the walkable areas, Springfield has it. When it comes to Joplin, Missouri, there's not as much to do in Joplin. Yes, it still has its own things. It's got some walking trails. It's got some a lot of community events. They got a downtown area where they do the Third Thursdays for all those kind of community events. They got a lot of festivals, but for the most part, it's not going to have near as much things to do compared to Springfield or Northwest Arkansas. But like I was saying beforehand, it's kind of centrally located to where within an hour to hour and a half drive, you can be at all of these places. And it is a lower cost of living in Joplin. So maybe you want a slower lifestyle of where you actually live, but be able to be close enough and go and take advantage of all of these other things that are around you. Joplin is a perfect place. All right, so let's move on over to Northwest Arkansas now. What's there to do in Northwest Arkansas? Well, there's a ton of stuff to do in Northwest Arkansas. First off, you can do any kind of outdoor activity there, hunting, fishing, any of that stuff. They have Beaver Lake there, which is a beautiful lake to go do, any kind of boating thing. So water skiing, tubing, you can go striper fishing there. You also have Eureka Springs, which is like this mountain town. It's a great place to kind of go, for a weekend trip. And that's very close to Branson, Missouri. When it comes to other things there, all the downtown areas in Northwest Arkansas are extremely nice. All the festivals, community events, parades, the downtown areas in Bentonville and Fayetteville are some of the nicest and most expensive areas in these cities. So unlike a bigger city where the downtown area might not be that nice, in Northwest Arkansas they are extremely nice, and that's where everyone wants to kind of be. I will say that Northwest Arkansas's downtown areas beat out Joplin and Springfield's downtown areas hands down. It's not even close. So if you're looking for stuff like that, Northwest Arkansas is going to be a great option. Now, some other stuff to do in Northwest Arkansas, they have a minor league baseball team there too, which is the Naturals, and that is the Kansas City Royals minor league team. The Naturals Stadium's not near as nice, I will say that, but it's still nice. It's just the Springfield Cardinals is so far and above any other minor league stadium that I've been in. It's hard to even compare them to. But the Naturals still have a very nice stadium. So you have that there. You have the Rogers Water Park. I'm just trying to think of a few things and name a bunch of stuff off here. I'm random. I will say that Fayetteville is where the University of Arkansas is, so you can go down there and catch all of those college games. They have a great baseball team there. They have got Bikes, Blues, and barbecues down in Fayetteville every year, which is a big festival for like barbecue and bikers and everything. It's really, really fun. Now, some other things are down in Rogers, and that is where the Promenade Shopping Center is. Really, really nice, like outdoor outlet mall area, super nice. They got Top Golf. They have the Walmart Amphitheater right behind Top Golf, and they get big artists there. They actually had Kevin Hart there this last year, so a lot of good artists and comedians and shows there. Now, Northwest Arkansas has also coined the mountain biking capital of the world, so if you are a mountain biker, the best place for you is Northwest Arkansas by far. They have hundreds of miles of mountain biking trails, and they just add more and more and more, so that's a great time. They have Crystal Bridges there, the big museum. There's just a ton of stuff going on there in Northwest Arkansas. It basically comes down to where you want to live, and then you're going to be able to take advantage of all these places, honestly. If you live in Northwest Arkansas and want to do something in Springfield, it's an hour and a half, 2 hour drive, totally doable, and you'll be able to take advantage of all of those things. All right, so the next thing we want to talk about is the education. Let's compare the education from Northwest Arkansas to Southwest Missouri. We'll start off once again with Springfield. So Springfield has a really good school district there. It's actually, the Springfield School District is actually the biggest public school district in the entire state of Missouri. And they have some very highly ranked schools there. I believe that all of the public schools are Missouri A+ ranked, so those are great schools. And fun fact for you, Kickapoo High School in Springfield is actually where Brad Pitt went to high school at. So if you didn't know, Brad Pitt actually grew up in the Springfield area. He was born in Oklahoma, but shortly after him and his family moved to Springfield. So he went to high school at Kickapoo, which is a great high school there. Graduated in 1982, and his parents still live in the Springfield area. So just kind of a fun fact I wanted to throw in there. Most people aren't aware of that. Springfield has great schools, whether it be elementary schools, middle schools, high schools. They're all very highly ranked for the state of Missouri. And when it comes to higher education, such as colleges, you have MSU there, which is a great school. They have a lot of other ones there. They got Drury University, they got Evangel University, they got Southwest Baptist Bible College. They have Cox Health and Mercy colleges and schools. So a lot of good schools there and options for that higher education. Moving over to Joplin, they don't have as highly ranked public schools there. They're still not terrible, but they're not as highly ranked as the Springfield ones or even down in Northwest Arkansas. But you still have a lot of good options for schooling in Joplin. Some of the higher education there is going to be, or the only one there really is Missouri Southern State University, so MSSU, and that's going to be their big college there. So that's a good option that is local there. And then you also have Crowder College, which is over in the Neosho area. It is a smaller community college. And then moving on to Northwest Arkansas, you have really good schools in Northwest Arkansas as well. You actually have the top rated school districts in the entire state of Arkansas in Northwest Arkansas. So the #1 rated public school district in Northwest Arkansas is going to be a public charter school, which is called Haas Hall, Haas Hall Academy. And that is the #1 ranked public school district in the entire state of Arkansas, but it is a public charter school. So they have locations in, I believe, Bentonville, Rogers, Springdale, and Fayetteville, if I'm correct, and Fayetteville being their main campus area. I don't remember exactly, but I believe they're between 15th and 20th in the entire nation for the highest ranked charter public school. So that's a really good option. Now the next school district there is going to be Bentonville, Arkansas School District, and Bentonville school districts are ranked as the second highest public school. They're right behind Haas Hall in the entire state of Arkansas. So once again, that's your normal public school. Most people in the Northwest Arkansas area really want to be in that Bentonville school district. Now we have other really good school districts too, such as Fayetteville, which is, I believe, top 5 or 6th or 7th, somewhere in there. Rogers has really good school districts too, but Bentonville is kind of the cream of the crop. It's the best one. That's all the way from elementary to high school. They also have a lot of private schools there. They have the #1 ranked private elementary school in the entire nation. So that's in Fayetteville. So you have that option if you want to pay for a private school. And both Northwest Arkansas and Southwest Missouri have a number of private schools, being faith-based, Christian, Catholic, and your normal, and just some other private schools, as well as a very big presence of homeschoolers. So if you are someone who wants to homeschool your kids, you're going to find a lot of opportunity here with things such as, sports groups, just groups for homeschoolers and stuff. There's a lot of options here, so that's a really good pro for these areas. All right, so another important part is going to be crime rate. So this is where these two places really start to differentiate themselves for sure. All right, so let's start off with Springfield, Missouri. It is going to have a very high crime rate, to be honest. It's one of those things that if you do a Google search, it can kind of be scary. Now, that's not to say that Springfield is a bad option, though. It's still, they have very, very safe areas in Springfield. You just got to kind of have to understand what the area is whenever it comes to that higher crime rate. I'm not going to go into it crazy, but I will briefly just go over it here. The crime rate in Springfield is mainly located in that central Springfield area and the north side of Springfield. It's not to say that there's not crime in any other areas of Springfield. Of course there is, but it's not as near as prevalent as in that inner city, downtown area, and that northern side of Springfield, which is the older side of Springfield. So it's one of those things that I need to definitely clarify, but I would still, there's still great areas in Springfield. Most areas in Springfield, I'm totally fine with me and my 3 kids and my wife walking around, and there would be no issues whatsoever. You just got to know where you are actually at and what these different areas are. So that's why I always tell everyone on these videos to give us a call, and we would love to kind of be your eyes and ears and be able to guide you in these right areas. And now a lot of the surrounding areas in Springfield are actually some of the safest in the entire state of Missouri. So you have places like Fremont Hills, Republic, Battlefield, Ozarks, Nixa, Willard. These are all great areas. The suburbs are very, very safe. That south side of Springfield is very, very safe, and some other pocket neighborhoods too. So just give us a call on that. We can point you in the right direction. All right, so let's move over to the crime rate in Joplin, Missouri. And just like Springfield, it has a higher than average crime rate. We actually did a long video on the crime rate in Joplin, Missouri. It's actually where I grew up at, so I know it very, very well. And I'll link that video here, and it'll be down in the description below. I highly recommend you go and check that video out before you make any decision if it's involving Joplin, Missouri. That way you just know what's going on there. Just like Springfield, though, it's kind of that inner city and a couple smaller pocket neighborhoods where we see most of the crime. So that video will detail all of that, but just like Springfield, the suburbs of Joplin are very, very nice, very, very safe. So definitely don't just write off Joplin because of that, because you really have to know, the more local, bigger picture of what's going on, and that video there will definitely detail it for you more. All right, so let's move over to crime rate in Northwest Arkansas, and I can say that this one is definitely a lot better. So you don't have near the crime rate here. The entire metro of Northwest Arkansas ranks below the national average in all crime statistics. So you don't have to worry about crime in Northwest Arkansas near as much as you do in some of those Southwest Missouri areas. Bentonville and Bella Vista are some of the safest areas in the entire state of Arkansas, along with the entire Northwest Arkansas metro. And now I think a big reason for that is because of the downtown areas being so clean and so nice. It's like I said, downtown Bentonville is one of the most, well, it's not one of the most, it is the most expensive area in the entire metro. So they dump a lot of money into these downtown areas, into the inner cities, and it definitely shows. And it's something where I would not feel uncomfortable in any way with my wife, me, and my 3 younger kids walking downtown Bentonville Square at 2 in the morning. I mean, obviously we wouldn't be doing that because we have young kids, but it wouldn't scare me in any way. It is a very, very safe and clean area. All right, so next up we're going to be talking about the weather. So the weather in both areas is basically the same. They're basically the same spot. It's the Ozarks. The only difference being, which isn't really any real proof of it, but it doesn't seem like we get as much ice in northwest Arkansas as we do in southwest Missouri. I don't know if that's actually factual or true, just my own experience of being here. That's kind of how I feel. But that being said, you know, weather for both areas, you're going to get all 4 seasons, which I think is a huge pro of the area. So you get white Christmases most of the time. You won't always have snow on Christmas, but it'll always snow sometime. Springtime is beautiful spring weather. Summertime, you know, great time for outdoor activities on the water, for going tubing, going floating, you know, all that stuff. And then fall time is gorgeous around here. If you've never been somewhere that has a lot of trees in the fall time, it is gorgeous. So all the trees here are going to change into different colors: yellow, red, brown, you know, all that stuff. And it makes for a beautiful scenery here. So that's great. Let's say that the downfall for the weather here and the seasons is going to be 2 main things. And because we do get snow here and we have winters here, along with snow always comes ice. So you will get ice here too. We don't usually get horrible ice storms, but we do get ice storms, and it just depends. I will say the last like 2 years have kind of been worse. I don't know why, but it just seems like that's what's been going on. So you'll definitely have to get used to driving on ice and, you know, moving around in that winter climate. The next biggest thing is going to be in the summertime. We definitely get a lot of humidity here. So if you're coming from a drier area, you're going to have to get used to the humidity here. You know, there's definitely times where you will be walking out of the grocery store, say, to your car, and you're all sticky and sweaty, and it just takes time to adapt to that. You know, that after that first year you should be good and used to it, but it will be kind of a shock if you're not prepared for it. All right, and the next step, I just want to talk about living situations. So, you know, the housing types. Like I said, we're not going to really talk about prices. Check out those cost of living videos. They'll detail all of that. They'll break down gas prices, food prices, utility prices, everything, and taxes and all that stuff. So we're just going to talk about the type of living. So in Springfield, it's the biggest city of this entire area. It's over 170,000 people, which is by far bigger than any other city around here in both of these areas. So in Springfield, you're going to be able to have kind of that urban lifestyle feel, but also have, you know, a lot of like subdivisions, you know, like cul-de-sac living, you know, well-developed neighborhoods, but also that urban kind of walkable feel too around those downtown areas, because some of the downtown areas in Springfield are still very, very nice. One of my favorite neighborhoods in Springfield is a neighborhood called Roundtree, and it is gorgeous. And, you know, it's very clean, it's very safe, and it's right next to the university in the downtown square and the whole downtown area. So like I said, you really just have to have someone who's in your corner that knows these different pockets so you don't miss out on any of these really, really good areas. So that's what you have there in Springfield. And then, like I said, you can be in the city and then in 5 minutes be in hill country and, you know, all this beautiful country land and lots of acreage and all that. And then in the surrounding suburbs of Springfield, you're going to find great areas, very, very safe areas, and all different types of them living. And then moving over to Joplin, you're going to have basically the same type of living as Springfield, just without the bigger city. So Joplin has just over 50,000 people, so definitely a lot smaller. You're still going to have the same thing. You're going to have that neighborhood lifestyle, some suburbs such as like Carthage and Webb City, Carl Junction, Neosho, which is a little more rural, but you're going to basically find the same thing there. Now, whenever it comes to like lake life there in southwest Missouri, you can definitely have that too. Over there on Table Rock. Table Rock is an absolutely beautiful lake, so you can find lake houses there, and then everything else in between. And then moving over to northwest Arkansas, you're going to find tons of different options for different types of lifestyles. So whether you're looking to be inside, you know, downtown Bentonville, which is a very, very nice area. It's a very expensive area though. Then you're in a very walkable and safe area. You can go over to, you know, the suburbs of Bentonville, which is going to be places like Centerton. Centerton's basically connected to Bentonville now. You got Cave Springs, you got Rogers, you got Lowell, you got Springdale, you got Fayetteville, all these places. Now, I will say about Fayetteville, you're going to be more of a college town there. Now, that's not to say that you can't live in Fayetteville and not be caught up in all of the college stuff. It's definitely not like that at all. It's plenty big to where you're going to have a lot of different opportunities for different types of, lifestyles there and living styles. And then you have smaller towns around the area too. I will say that there's a lot of new construction in Northwest Arkansas because it's grown so much over the last 10 to 15 years. Most homes are new construction homes now, so you're going to be getting into a lot of those, which a lot of people like, within the last 10 years. So that's a really good option. And then of course you have the countryside there. You can go and live and get more land, more acreage. You also have Beaver Lake there, which is an awesome lake, beautiful lake. Beaver Lake actually feeds into Table Rock Lake, but you can do lake houses there. You can do all kinds of stuff. They have lake communities there. So any kind of living styles or lifestyles that you want there, you can have in Northwest Arkansas. All right, so that was definitely a lot, and hopefully that kind of gave you more detail of, all of these areas. Whenever it comes to which one do I think is the best, I honestly think that they both have a lot to offer. I will say this, if you are concerned about crime rate, and even though, like I was saying, you just got to know the right areas. But if that's something that you just can't get past, then I would definitely say Northwest Arkansas is more on your side. If you're in the health field, if you're in the logistics field, maybe Springfield is a better option. That doesn't mean that you can't have a great career in those fields in Northwest Arkansas or some of these other areas, because you definitely can. But Springfield is kind of the mecca, just the hub for those type of fields around here. Now, Northwest Arkansas's economy is actually even better than Springfield's. This is where Walmart is headquartered. This is where Tyson's Food is headquartered, J.B. Hunt, a lot of different stuff here, but I'm talking those different fields, in the healthcare and all that specifically. So either way, whenever it comes to maybe you want to get the cheapest cost of living possible, but then still be in a good location to be able to take advantage of all of these other things within an hour to hour and a half's drive, then maybe Joplin, Missouri is the best option for you. And now, of course, there is other areas besides those three main metros, but those are the main areas that we talk about on this channel. There's tons of little suburbs off of all these main cities, country living, where you can go and get a bunch of land, and everything else in between. But focusing on these three main areas, that's kind of, what most people look at when moving here. So which place is best for you is honestly going to depend on what your goals are and what you're looking for. So if you guys are looking to move to the Northwest Arkansas or Southwest Missouri area, reach out to us. Give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. And me and my team would love to just sit down and have a conversation with you. We can have a phone call or a Zoom call or correspond through text and email. However you guys want to reach out to us, feel free to, and we can just have a discussion of what you are looking for, what you're wanting out of this area, and then we can kind of guide you and give you our opinion on what we think, or on which area we think is best for you. So if that is you, be sure to reach out to us, whether you're looking to move tomorrow, next month, or next year. We'd love to help you make the move here as easy as possible. Of course, if you guys have not already, go ahead and subscribe down below and hit that bell. That way you turn on those notifications so you won't miss out on any future videos. That's going to do it for this video. Hopefully that gave you guys some clarity on these different areas. Hopefully it helped you out. But until the next time, I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.